mass communication, more popularly known as journalism in your country. So yeah, that's my major, and I entered Pines International Academy in 2008, and yeah, I've been teaching here for the last 5 years. And the subjects that I teach here in Pines are basically mostly one-to-one classes, like reading pronunciation, and many other one-to-one classes. My group classes though are in the evening. I teach pronunciation classes and option class, and I also teach public speaking for OPIC. I also teach TOEIC listening comprehension, and finally IELTS reading comprehension for group classes. LBM. Well, Baguio was actually historically founded by Americans, so you expect a lot of American or people speaking an American accent here when they speak in English. And Baguio is actually the coolest city in terms of temperature, which is very important when you study, of course, when you're studying. And at the same time, it is surrounded with a lot of pine trees. So when you are studying here, you can really concentrate because it would be comparatively similar to fall or spring in your country. And at the same time, Baguio is a small town, so you don't need to worry about distractions of a big city, because here in Baguio we don't have a lot of clubs or bars, so it basically helps you or aids you to focus on your studies. And finally, Baguio is actually the educational capital of the northern region, or the main island here in the country. So yes, many people from many other cities around the country would actually flock in to study here in Baguio, because as I've mentioned, it is the main, or it is the capital for education in the northern region here in the Philippines. Basically, we have 3 departments here in Pines, and the first department would be refresher, wherein the new students, or the freshmen, so to speak, would try to have a recall on all that they have learned. So I know in Korea you basically study a lot of vocabs, which is highly recommended and it's very effective. So you study a lot of vocabs, and in a day you are able to learn a lot of vocabs and use it, right? And in refresher, you will learn more about that and apply all the things that you have learned in the past. For instance, vocabs and grammar. You get to apply it in speaking, you get to hear it in listening classes, you get to use it in your writing classes. So it is very effective. The next is the second, bridging. Okay, bridging has 2 main goals. Okay, one is to connect everything that you have learned in the past when you were younger, or even in refresher, to prepare for advanced learning. Okay, for example, in advanced course, we have test modules, and of course you all know that TOEIC speaking, okay, TOEFL, IELTS, and OPIC. So those test modules, bridging will prepare you for those test modules in the future when you decide to take those test modules in expanding department, which is now known as advanced course department. So going back, bridging has 2 main goals. One is for you to prepare for your test module, and 2 is to prepare you for more advanced communication, so that when you travel abroad or study abroad, you won't have a hard time to communicate with basically native speakers. And finally, advanced course department, where we are in now, okay, it has 2 kinds of studies. One is the regular module, wherein you just learn the 4 macro skills in general, and which is highly informal, but at the same time very effective, because this is how native speakers do it. And the second one is test module, to prepare you for your future, for example, studies abroad or application for your jobs. And of course you all know the test modules, right? My best advice would be integration. Okay, you need to integrate the 4 macro skills, which are of course listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, you have to integrate all those skills. What do I mean by this? Well, basically, the best thing you have to do is, yeah, I know in Korea you do shadowing, so to speak. Okay, you mimic the actors in the movie, or the singer who sings a popular song in America. Well, this is highly efficient. Okay, I really advise this, and it's very applicable. And the thing is, you don't need to just follow the pronunciation or learn certain vocabs or grammar. You need to integrate them, okay? So you need to write a journal every day, or you need to communicate with native speakers. So there are many ways to communicate with native speakers. You can have native speaking teachers or Filipino friends, even though we are not native speakers. And at the same time, you can use technology, the internet, okay? You can connect with a lot of foreign friends to prepare for your studies here in PIA. So, of course, as I've mentioned, okay, you need to listen more and you mimic them. At the same time, do dictation. That could help, okay? In speaking, communicate more. Have native speaking friends. And of course, Korea has a lot of foreigners too. So get to be friend or become more friendly, okay? Try to initiate a conversation with native speakers. And read more, okay? It is very important because when you have output, okay, of course you need input too, wherein you have listening and reading. Well, reading is more advanced, okay? So you need to read more vocabs and you need to open your mind to more expressions and grammar, okay? Because in grammar rules, we all tend to be more or a lot traditional, okay? Very conventional or traditional about the approach. So we get to be strict. However, native speakers can get to bend these rules. So we need to be as adjustable or flexible to these situations so that when we watch movies, we can easily understand and we won't be affected by the mistakes or errors in grammar. Okay? Finally, writing. This is the most sophisticated macro skill where you get to apply vocabs, expressions, and grammar rules. So you need to be very strict here and very formal, and it will never be gone. It will always be important. So writing is very important, especially in business communication. So we all need to improve those macro skills and integrate the micro skills, as I've mentioned, vocabs, grammar, and many other things. The most important thing for you to do is, I've mentioned, number one is to integrate, okay, the 4 macro skills. So you need to develop them all at the same time, okay, as much as possible and as coherently, yes, as coherently or as synchronized as possible, okay? So you cannot just focus on one macro skill at a time because the other skills would be, if you ignore the other skills, it would not improve just like what you want it to. Now, what I'm trying to say is that try to improve all the macro skills at the same time. How? In the process of integration, the thing that I taught you a while ago. At the same time, okay, I need you to be more interactive. Okay, I need you to go beyond your comfort zone. So try to challenge yourself in other ways. Well, sometimes Koreans tend to be very, very strict with their approach, you know. You try to be very strict with the way you study. That's not bad. However, you have to enjoy what you're doing. And when you enjoy and you have discipline at the same time, your improvement will skyrocket, I promise you that. So the best thing for you to do is try to integrate the learning process and try to go out of your shell and get out of your comfort zone. I really recommend you study here, not because I want to see you, not only that of course, but our main goal here is to improve your skills, right? So the edge of Pines International Academy is, of course, our curriculum. Okay? So our curriculum caters to the most basic to the most advanced. So when you come here as a beginner, there is no judgment. You will not feel left out. Okay? You will start from level 1. And in level 1, you will get to improve your skills. You will learn a lot. Okay? And you will be trained for future learning or for more advanced education. So the reason why I highly recommend you study here in Pines is because, yes, we have a culture and a tradition of training the most basic of learners to the most advanced. At the same time, our training is our personal training for teachers. It is highly efficient and we are very proud of this. So you will experience strictness in education, at the same time enjoyment in learning. When you arrive or when you plan to come here, actually I don't recommend planning, I just advise you to come and enjoy our learning here, and you will learn a lot, you will experience a lot. What you need to prepare for before coming here in PIA is to basically prepare your mind, okay? So have a recall on everything that you have learned, from the vocabs to the grammar to the expression, and if you learn pronunciation, many other things out of the 4 macro skills, then go ahead and have a recall, okay? So prepare yourself to interact more, to be more sociable, because your teachers will do their best, okay? They will do their best to teach you and train you for your improvement, okay? Not only in the English skill, but also for the improvement of your career and for your future. And finally, prepare to have fun, okay? Because here in PIA, we're not only focused on the studies, but we are also focused on the enjoyment, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you will lose any efficiency or any greatness that you have in anything that you want to endeavor.